It began with a whisper in the code, a single wallet address. That shouldn't have existed. One moment, billions in crypto moved through the world like blood through a system. The next, it stopped, frozen, gone. The exchange was supposed to be secure, encrypted, untouchable. But that night, something slipped through the cracks. 119,756 bitcoins vanished. At the time, it was $70 million. Today, it's worth billions. No alarms, no fingerprints, no names. Just silence. Some say it was an inside job. Others point to North Korean hackers. No one agrees. But one thing is certain. Someone out there pulled off the most sophisticated digital heist the world had ever seen. And what happened next would expose a secret world of laundering, lies, and love. This isn't just a story about missing money. It's about obsession, power, and the moment trust in crypto shattered forever. This is the hack that crashed a billion-dollar crypto empire. They called it Bitfinex, a digital fortress built on code and confidence, a place where traders moved millions with a swipe, where fortunes were made before breakfast and lost before midnight. In 2016, it was one of the biggest exchanges on Earth, billions flowing through its servers every week. And behind every transaction, a promise. Your money is safe here. But safety in crypto is an illusion. It exists until it doesn't. That summer, the markets felt strange. Bitcoin was climbing. Rumors of new hacks drifted through forums like smoke. On Twitter, whispers of stolen wallets. Developers argued in chat rooms, code against code. And then, on an August night, Bitfinex froze. Withdrawals halted. Screens went blank. Thousands of traders stared at balances that no longer existed. Some refreshed their browsers for hours. Others screamed into keyboards. No one knew yet. That history had just changed. Because in the dark corners of the blockchain, a shadow had already moved. And it left a trail that no one could erase. Not the exchange, not the FBI, not even time. It started quietly. A few irregular transfers, tiny movements, so small no one noticed. Then a surge. Wallets drained in rapid bursts. 1, then 10, then hundreds. Each transaction splitting like a spiderweb across the blockchain. Bitfinex engineers stared at their screens. The numbers didn't make sense. Funds were disappearing through legitimate channels. As if someone had the master key. And maybe they did. Investigators would later call it a multi-signature exploit. A flaw buried deep in Bitfinex's security protocol. Each withdrawal required approval from several keys. But that night, someone found a way to trick the system, to convince the exchange those signatures were real. Billions in crypto slipped into a single destination wallet. Untraceable, untouchable. Just a string of characters glowing in the dark. By dawn, the news spread like fire. The markets plunged. Bitcoin lost nearly 20% overnight. Panic rippled through Telegram chats, Reddit threads, trading floors. People demanded answers, but Bitfinex gave only silence. Behind closed doors, executives made calls to law enforcement, to security firms, to anyone who might understand what had just happened. They didn't know it yet, but the person behind that wallet wasn't just stealing money. They were rewriting the rules of digital trust. And somewhere, behind a screen, a pair of eyes watched the chaos unfold and smiled. The heist sent shockwaves through the crypto world. Billions gone, confidence shattered, exchanges everywhere scrambled to reassure their users. It can't happen here, but it could, and everyone knew it. Bitfinex froze all accounts. Markets went dark, and in the chaos, the thieves vanished, leaving behind a single digital fingerprint. A wallet holding 119,000 bitcoins. Authorities could see it. They could watch the money, but they couldn't touch it. Because that's the paradox of blockchain. Everything is visible. Nothing is reachable. For years, those coins sat dormant, untouched, like treasure buried in plain sight. Then, small movements began to appear. Tiny fragments of Bitcoin, laundered through mixers, split across thousands of wallets. Shell accounts, fake exchanges, darknet markets. Investigators traced the flows, each transfer like a heartbeat in the dark, a rhythm of concealment. Some said the hackers were professionals. State-backed, disciplined, patient. Others believed it was chaos. Amateurs with luck and timing. But behind the fog of speculation, one truth emerged. The trail led to New York, to two unlikely suspects, a rapper and her tech-obsessed husband. The internet called them the Crypto Bonnie and Clyde, but the story of how they ended up here, that's where everything gets stranger. For years, the stolen coins drifted through the blockchain like ghosts. Thousands of wallets, thousands of false trails, every move watched, every move meaningless, until one day, a single mistake, a transfer too large, a wallet connected to a cloud storage account, and inside that account, a spreadsheet. Rows of encrypted addresses, conversion notes, exchange names. It was a roadmap of the laundering operation. The FBI moved quietly. They traced the files to a small apartment in Manhattan. Inside lived a tech entrepreneur named Ilya Lichtenstein and his wife, Heather Morgan, a self-proclaimed surrealist rapper who called herself Razzlecon. On YouTube, she rapped about entrepreneurship and chaos. In private, investigators say she helped launder billions. Agents hacked into Ilya's cloud drives. What they found stunned them. Keys to wallets holding over 94,000 bitcoins. Digital treasure buried in encrypted folders, worth more than $3 billion at the time. The couple had spent years cleaning small amounts, buying gift cards, NFTs, even gold. But most of it just sat there, waiting, untouched. No one knows if they planned to cash out or just couldn't. Maybe the weight of it was too big, too radioactive to move. But that spreadsheet, that one careless document, was the thread that unraveled everything. The hunt that began in Hong Kong ended in a Manhattan apartment. And yet, even with the arrests, one question refused to die. Were they really the masterminds, or just the ones left holding the keys? To understand the hack, you have to understand them. Ilya Lichtenstein, quiet, analytical, obsessed with systems. He spent nights buried in code, exploring the edges of encryption. Heather Morgan, loud, eccentric, unpredictable, a rapper, an influencer, a self-proclaimed crocodile of Wall Street. Together, they looked more like performance artists than billion-dollar criminals. And maybe that was the point. Online, Heather posted rap videos filled with chaotic lyrics about wealth and power. To some, it was satire. To others, a confession hiding in plain sight. Investigators painted her as the face of a money-laundering empire. But those who knew them said otherwise. They were dreamers, addicted to risk, not crime. Psychologists later described them as a symbiotic pair. He built digital worlds. She created noise to hide them, logic and chaos in perfect balance. But there's another theory, that they weren't the masterminds at all, that the real hacker, or hackers, disappeared long before the couple touched a single coin, that they were just laundering someone else's fortune. Even the FBI admits there are gaps. The identity of the original intruder remains unknown. No digital fingerprint, no message, no claim. And maybe that's what makes it so haunting, because somewhere, out there, the real architect of the hack might still be watching, still holding keys no one has found. And if that's true, the empire didn't crash, it just went underground. When agents finally knocked on their door, there was no shootout, no chase through city streets, just silence. Inside, they found laptops, burner phones, and encrypted drives labeled only with random strings of numbers. The treasure was there, locked in the blockchain, waiting for the right key. Ilya and Heather were arrested, charged with conspiracy to launder billions. Their mugshots went viral. The internet called them criminals. Others called them icons of a broken system, because in the end, they didn't hack a bank. They hacked belief. Crypto was built on the promise of freedom. No borders, no middlemen. But freedom without trust is just another form of chaos. The FBI seized 94,000 bitcoins, worth over $3 billion when recovered. It was the largest financial seizure in US history, but it wasn't closure. The original hacker, still unknown. The missing coins? Some say fragments are still moving, drifting across blockchains, splitting, merging, disappearing again. Every few months, a new wallet stirs. Tiny transfers, pings in the dark. Maybe it's just noise. Maybe it's a warning, because if history has taught us anything, It's that empires never fall all at once. They fracture quietly, one key at a time. This was the hack that crashed a billion-dollar crypto empire, but the real question is, who's building the next one?